Hi, guys. If you were not able to come to live class today, I'm going to run really quickly through the lesson for today because if I just give you the Jamboard, it's not going to make any sense. So, our week looks like this. Today, we're going to look at this novel called The Crossover. We're going to look at 3 short excerpts from it and talk about that. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about figurative language. Wednesday, we're going to come back to this story and analyze it a little bit. Thursday, we're going to do a podcast assignment. And Friday is already posted. It is First Chapter Friday about the third mushroom. And your assignment today is going to be filling out a Jamboard. So, why is that not working? Okay, so this this excerpt is from the book called The Crossover. If you have never read the book or any of Kwame Alexander's books, I highly recommend them for multiple reasons. One, for those of you that like sports, they're all sports themed. Two, for those of you that don't like sports, there's a whole lot more to them other than sports. This is coming from a not super sporty person, and these are some of my favorite books of all time, Kwame's books. Three, they're written in verse, not in verse, but in verse. Okay. Which means that it is almost like a poem, not like a rhymey poem, but just written in short little chunks. And it's done on purpose to kind of emphasize the points that he wants to emphasize. But the reason I say that is because it makes it a super quick read, not a lot of words on the page. Okay, so a novel in verse is like you could call it a narrative poem. Okay, so poems are usually pretty short, but in this case, a narrative poem like this that is turned into a novel is quite a bit longer. It's been turned into an entire book, and Kwame writes all of his books like that. So, again, I highly recommend you checking them out. So basically what we're going to do is there are 3 excerpts from the book that we're going to focus on. And the book is a whole lot more than this. So please check it out so you can get the whole story because we're just getting 3 little snippets. And after each excerpt that we read, there's some questions we want to consider. We want to think about the scene, what's going on, which is like the setting and the plot. We want to talk about qualities and attitudes that the characters have. We want to talk about, actually, we're going to skip this one and we're going to come down here. We're going to talk about how the author's choice of words expresses these feelings. And then we're going to talk about a big idea from them. And let me show you how we're going to do that on the Jamboard. Okay, here's a copy of the Jamboard that we were working on today in the 7B class. It looks like this, and you'll see each of these lines has one of those questions on it that we were talking about. So describe the scene, which is the setting or the plot. Describe the speaker and other characters, which you will see JB is the brother, and we decided to name the main character MC for main character because we don't know his name yet. Okay, so those are the 2 characters we're going to describe. We're going to, let's skip down here. We're going to talk about any life lessons that were shared. And then this is the one that we struggled with a little bit in class until we caught on. It says identify any graphical elements. So what we're talking about here are words and phrases that stand out. We're talking about, was it told in first person, second person, third person? And then we're even talking about the format of it. Is there anything you notice about the format that makes it interesting or different? Okay. So these are very hard to read and you may have to zoom in on these on the Jamboard. But in fact, I'm going to do that right now so I can make that a little bit bigger. And then you guys are just going to add to the Jamboard, making sure you put your name on it. Okay. So the first excerpt is called JB and I. It goes like this. JB and I are almost 13. Twins. 2 basketball goals at opposite ends of the court. Identical. But it's easy to tell us apart though, because I'm an inch taller with dreads down to my neck. He gets his head shaved once a month. I want to go to Duke, and he flaunts Carolina blue. If we didn't love each other, we would hate each other. He's a shooting guard. I play forward. JB's the second most phenomenal baller on our team. He has the better jumper, but I'm the better slasher and much faster. We both pass well, especially to each other. To get ready for the season, I went to 3 summer camps. JB only went to 1. Said he didn't want to miss Bible school. What does he think? I'm stupid? Ever since Kim Bazemore kissed him in Sunday school, he's been acting all religious, thinking less and less about basketball and more about girls. So here we get introduced to the main character and JB, who are brothers. They are twins. And so we kind of talked through, what does the setting look like and what are some things that are happening as far as the plot goes. So you can look through those and then add to yours. Describing the speaker and other characters. So we really had to push to move beyond just naming the characters, but really talking about some things that they do. I don't know if I can pull up my little laser guy. No. Yeah, that's all right. So we kind of talked through that a little bit. We talked about more describing the characters and who they are. Graphical elements, you'll see we pulled out quotes. We talked about certain words that we saw that really meant something. And then we talked about some life lessons that we could learn from that point. Okay. So then, okay. So then we went to Jamboard 2 and we looked at the second excerpt, which is called At the End of Warm-Ups, My Brother Tries to Dunk. And then we did the same thing by adding sticky notes over here. So let's take a look at this excerpt. Since it's kind of hard to read, I will read it for you. At the end of warm-ups, my brother tries to dunk. Not even close, JB. What's the matter? The hoop too high for ya? I snicker, but it's not funny to him, especially when I take off from center court, my hair like wings, each lock lifting me higher and higher like a 747 zoom zoom. I throw down so hard the fiberglass trembles. Boo-yah, Dad screams from the top row. I'm the only kid on the team who can do that. The gym is a loud, crowded circus. My stomach is a roller coaster. My head, a carousel. The air heavy with the smell of sweat, popcorn, and sweet perfume of mothers watching sons. Our mom, aka Dr. Bell, aka the assistant principal, is talking to some of the teachers on the other side of the gym. I am feeling better already. Coach calls us in, does his Phil Jackson impersonation. Love ignites the spirit. Bring teams together, he says. JB and I glance at each other, ready to bust out laughing, but Vondi, our best friend, beats us to it. The whistle goes off. Players gather at center circle, dap each other, pound each other. Referee tosses the jump ball. Game on. So again, what's this scene and plot like? What's happening with the speaker and the other characters? So main character and JB, graphical elements that stick out to us, and what life lesson is shared. And then finally, we have the third excerpt, the sportscaster. So it says, JB likes to taunt and trash talk during games like Dad used to do when he played. When I walk onto the court, I prefer silence so I can watch, react, surprise. I talk too, but mostly to myself, like sometimes when I do my own play-by-play in my head. So here again, we talked about the setting and the plot, the main character and JB. We talked about graphical elements that stood out to us, and we talked about the life lesson that was shared. And that's it. We actually ran out of time in class to go any further. So you'll see there's more Jamboards attached. I don't need you to do anything with those, okay? I just need you to do these first 3 with the first 3 excerpts of the story. So JB and I on slide 1, the dunking one on slide 2, and the sportscaster on slide 3. And make sure you add your sticky notes to these. You can look at some of ours for help if you're struggling with any of them. So make sure you do your sticky note and you put your name on it so you can get credit for it. And then, most importantly, I need you to email me if you add to the Jamboard, because I will not get a notification and there is no way for me to know if you did or did not add to it. So please just shoot me an email that says I added to the Jamboard. Hope you have a great day.